Hey everyone, welcome into my college football week 13 picks and score predictions. We are getting that much closer to conference championship weekend, bowl season, eventually the college football playoff. I am using the college football playoff rankings that just came out a couple of hours ago, and also back to the traditional layout that I've been using for all the games this season, except from last week's video. But it's nice to be able to give you guys the default presentation that I've been doing for this season. Worked really hard on it, of course, right before the season started. So let's get back to regularly scheduled programming with everything. And let's get started here with college game day in Columbus, Indiana. Before going further, I went 9-3 in my picks last week, 75% picking rate. Very proud of that, and let's see if we can keep it up. Also, too, I am going to try to make this video as fast as possible as well, and because I'm a little tired, but won't be talking about many games. But this is a big one here. Top five matchup, biggest game of the week. Two Ohio State versus number five Indiana. Ohio State favored 13.5 points. Now, we know that Ohio State might have the most talented team in the country. I would argue that for sure. But you got an Indiana team who has just been making headwaves across the country in college football. Curt Cignetti, what a season this has been for the Hoosiers. I have enjoyed it. 10-0, never been 10-0 in school history, I think. But this is a tall order. This is a lot to ask for to go on the road against Ohio State. The good thing is here, precipitation looks to move out just in time for the game. As far as I'm seeing, we have a bigger system coming by Thursday into Friday. It's going to bring both rain, snow, and some breezy winds, especially Indiana through Thursday. But so basically here, Indiana's defense, will they be able to slow down Ohio State? But will Indiana also be able to move the ball against this Ohio State defense? I want to be optimistic and say that this game is close for a while, but in the end, I just think Ohio State pulls away. Now, the first half could be close. We've seen Ohio State be slower in the first half of these games. Indiana has had some moments like recently against Michigan. They almost lost against Michigan as a double-digit favorite. At Michigan State, they started slow, but then they bombed Michigan State 47-10. I mean, you play who's on your schedule. I know Indiana's schedule has been pretty weak, but, they're doing what they're supposed to do. They're winning games, and they're winning them in convincing fashion. So, but Ohio State, can they kind of slow down this Indiana offense? I mean, the vertical attack of Oregon really killed Ohio State's defense at times. Could Indiana do the same? Possibly. I can't rule anything out. It's college football. Indiana's got a little bit of juice in them, but this is a tough ask. I think Ohio State wins by 17, covers. Next up, we have Minnesota versus number 4 Penn State. Rivalry game. I don't really consider this a rivalry per se. I don't know. I mean, it's for the governor's victory belt because I think it was Penn State's first Big Ten opponent in their school history in '93, but against Minnesota. But either which way, Penn State's 12.5. Favor on the road. It's too many points. Too many damn points. What are we doing here? I mean, seriously, this is ridiculous. Here's the problem. Minnesota is pretty good on the defensive end. Now, they've had a couple games this year where, they've let a lot, yardage go, especially on the ground. But Minnesota has a top 11 defense in the country. This offense can do some things, Max Brosmer leading the way on a quarterback as a senior. Darius Taylor in the backfield. This Minnesota offense can move the ball a little bit. Now, this will be obviously the toughest test by far. This is a Penn State team that can run the ball with real aggression. They got a real aggressive defensive line. Their quarterback and secondary are my question marks. Every time that Drew Allar in this offense has gone up against a good defense, they have folded like a damn lawn chair, literally. Minnesota at home has been fairly decent to good, I'd even say. Minnesota may not be able to stop the run here. That seems to be a little bit of a weakness of theirs. Like Iowa ran all over them. Some other teams have been able to run the ball on them a little bit too. That's going to be a key focal point, I think. Penn State needs to run the ball in this game. It's senior day in Minnesota. But Minnesota's given Penn State issues in the past. I mean, remember, they knocked them off in 2019, ruined Penn State's hopes of a playoff. I think this game's close. I think it's closer than some people think. I don't think Minnesota's going to let Penn State off the hook. This is going to be a dangerous one. Minnesota is coming off a loss on the road. That's what also worries me. And Penn State, Yeah, Penn State. I know people are like, oh well, Penn State, needs to just survive and advance. I would just try and run away with this game if I possibly could. Why would we be trying to give Minnesota a chance to win this game? We know they would love nothing more than to ruin Penn State's season. So yeah, this is gonna be close. This could be scary close. I got Penn State winning by 3. Next up, very interesting game here. I actually kind of like this matchup. We got 21 Arizona State and number 14 BYU. This is a critical game. The loser of this game, I think, is out of the Big 12 playoff or out of the Big 12 championship and playoff picture as well. One of these teams could still make the playoff. There's also a scenario, though, where the Big 12 champion may actually miss the playoff. It's a bit complex, but it has to revolve around, it has something to do with the group of 5 teams as well making a push. Like Army wins out, for instance. We'll talk about them later, but this is a very good game waiting to happen. Now, Arizona State, they're probably the most underrated 8-2 team, arguably. That offense is cooking, man. I love it. I tell you what, this quarterback running back duo of Arizona State, it's hard to stop, man. It really is. Arizona State's defense at times has actually shined a little bit, even though their 2 losses have been on the road, and they've rebounded though from those losses as well. Now BYU, yeah, they're overrated. I bet you there's a bunch of people wanting to get back on this BYU train. It's like, why are we even thinking about it? Like BYU is a 3-point road underdog for a reason. Could there be value though in BYU? Okay, maybe, I guess. I mean, they're coming off of a loss at home against Kansas. I had Kansas in that one, by the way. And then Arizona State's coming off of a pretty, pretty good win on the road at K State. That was a big one for them. I still like Arizona State, man. I think you can move the ball on BYU, but I think BYU could have some success of their own. I could see a scenario where Arizona State wins by via blowout victory. I really could, but I don't know, man. Sam Levitt and them need to take care of the ball. BYU is a team. Don't give them the chance for turnover luck. Just don't. And by the way, Arizona State is ranked for the first time since the 2021 season. They're brewing something special over there this year. We'll see how it goes. Definitely a game to keep an eye on. One of the more important ones too. Next up, speaking of Big 12 action, this is another big game here. Kansas versus number 16 Colorado. Some of you are like, what do you mean big game? Kansas is 4-6. I'm talking about for Colorado's purposes. Colorado is only a 2.5-point road favorite. Yikes. That's pretty low for a ranked team against a. And I think, too, the books understand Kansas is better than the record. I think that's part of it. Even the fact that Kansas is not playing at home, playing at Kansas City because of the stadium renovations, which is ridiculous. This is a team that has been sparked the last couple of weeks. They have been building a fire that's been unstoppable lately. Kansas has been clicking on all cylinders. Should have won against Kansas State. That was a game that was like, yeah, Kansas covers and may pull off the upset. They almost did. Colorado has been a little lucky this year, but I will tell you what, this team has shown better fight, better prowess this year at times. Travis Hunter's a star. I mean, he'll be a star in the NFL possibly. We'll see. Shedeur Sanders, I'm not so sure about him. He can have moments where he turns over the ball. They're not a big running team. Their defense has been better this year at times. By the way, this is Colorado's highest ranking in 8 years, if you can believe that. Since Week 10 of the 2016 season, they're number 15 at one point. Fun fact, they actually made the Pac-12 championship that year, ranked number 8, before they got destroyed by Washington, but that's not the point. The point is, this is not a game Colorado wants. I'm just going to warn you now. Kansas has caught fire. They are trying to spoil everyone's season, and this is not me being a Colorado here, and there's going to be some people when I do this, I'm just going to tell you, I got Kansas pulling off another upset 3 weeks in a row. I had Kansas winning against Iowa State. I had Kansas beating BYU last week. Now I have Kansas beating Colorado. Very well possible. Kansas has some talent. They have speed on the offense. I think Colorado could have trouble stopping this offense. Kansas is going to use their speed and agility to beat Colorado. So can Colorado, though. This will be a back and forth game. I do worry about Kansas's defense. They're pretty weak on the defensive side. But Colorado, man, they've had some luck this year go their way. We know they should have lost against Baylor. The comeback against Texas Tech was a good sign for them. Like they can respond in adversity like that, too. Even especially this late in the season, not early in the year, of course, when that happened. But I don't know, man. This is just it's tough, man. Um, this is a good. This could be a good one. This could be a good game. This is coming down to the wire. Over under is 59.5. I'm not sure about that one. That's a tricky over under there. Because these two teams could extend drives for a little bit longer than usual. So we'll see. Next up, this game here could really rock the playoff picture big time. Number 6, Notre Dame, and number 19, Army. This is being played at Yankee Stadium in Bronx, New York. Of course, the Yankees were just in the World Series. They lost 4-1. Yeah, 4-1 against the Dodgers. Just to note that, obviously. But this is a rivalry. These two have played for a long time against each other. But Notre Dame has owned the series, obviously. Army hasn't even beaten Notre Dame since 1958 in football, if that tells you anything. Um, this is a game that is going to really be dictated by time of possession, especially, and running the football. No surprise. Army Army is better than Navy. I think they're better than Navy by a country mile, honestly. Their defense has been suffocating this year. Like, they're legit. Army is a legit team. Notre Dame does not want to play a team like this. Notre Dame, this is the kind of game they can lose. We're talking a team that could possibly match a Notre Dame blow for blow in a similar physical style of defense and lower scoring, not lower scoring, but tougher offensive gain, or having to fight harder for offensive gains. This is going to be a tough game. Notre Dame does not throw the ball too much at times. They kind of scare me. They have the defense to beat anybody, but the offense to lose to anybody. Army's a dangerous team to me personally. They run the ball like no tomorrow. I don't know, man. I thought about taking Army. 14.5 is just too much. I get it. Notre Dame beat the crap out of Navy, but this is a Navy. And I think Army's way better than Navy. Navy's been a little bit suspect this year. I like Notre Dame, but this is going to be a really close game. Thought the weather was going to impact this one, but no, it's just going to be breezy. In the mid 40s. I thought there was going to be some rain, snow, but I wish there was rain, snow in this game. I actually probably would pick Army in the upset. I almost did actually. I was starting to really think about it, but I'm just going to stick with Notre Dame. Very well could happen. This will be interesting. 7 p.m. night game. I think it's on. Yeah, it's on NBC at Peacock. Final game to talk about here: Oklahoma versus number 7 Alabama. Part of me didn't want to talk about it, but we're going to do it. I just wanted to get an extra game in here because I like to try to talk about at least 6 to 7 games. So each video, just to give you guys some content, a good little bit of filled content. But either way, Alabama is favored 13.5 on the road. Now, this game is strange because Oklahoma just doesn't have a good offense. Jackson Arnold's not that great. This Oklahoma defense has even been kind of punctured too at times. Missouri. I mean, how the hell does Drew Pine throw 3 touchdowns on this Oklahoma defense after Missouri got shut out of Alabama not too long prior to that? That is ridiculous, and I think that's just utterly disgusting. Oklahoma is literally a disgusting team. What a joke. Alabama, ranked 7th in the country. I cannot take Alabama as seriously as maybe some other people, but Alabama, I will say they are a fairly good team. The thing is Jalen Milroe's much better when he basically is more of a running back, basically out of the pocket. When he comes out of the pocket, more in that running back style of play instead of throwing the ball. Because this dude sometimes just this throwing style, his throwing skills are just not up to snuff with some of these other quarterbacks. But with Jalen Milroe's physicality, his prowess running the ball, yeah, he's a problem. He's hard to stop. But I really don't trust Oklahoma, despite their home being at home, and the defense, as we know, can still be a problem. Alabama's defense gets takeaways. That's one key thing about them. Although I have not been a fan of their defense this season, they have played better in the last couple of weeks. They completely just shut down LSU. That was not a contest, but I'll go Alabama to cover. I thought about taking the points of Oklahoma. I can't do it, man. This team can't score. 16 might be too much. Actually, this could be a 31-10 game, 30-10, 27-10. Either which way. That's it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna try and get like a different layout going for the playoff and bowl games and stuff. Maybe for conference championships. We'll see. Maybe I'll keep this for like through conference championships. I could put like the logo there below the team information, the teams and the score. Just be like Pac-12 or not Pac-12. Sorry, Big Ten championship, Big 12. I think they look good. And then for like the future ones to round out the season, I'll probably do a different layout. But thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully we can have another positive, good week in terms of picking. And rivalry week, I will be predicting definitely over 10 games. I actually like the slate for week 14. Week 14 looks spicy, very spicy. Can't wait. Hope to see you guys there. And stay tuned for more of the videos as well. Stormfront episode 10 will not be until next week. Apologize about that. And stay tuned for more college basketball content. I uploaded my first bracketology video last night. Go check it out if you haven't already. And stay tuned for also future news on rebranding this channel because there will be significant changes coming going into 2025. But I will discuss more on that in December most likely. So keep in tuned. I will see you guys again soon.